You know, friends, when I was a youngster, I was weirdly obsessed with horror. I don't know if you guys know this about me. Like, to the point where my mom thought something was wrong with me. Like, I vividly remember watching The Exorcist at like 8 years old. Of course, that was because my dad allowed me to, but still, I wanted to. I obsessed over horror films. I begged all the time to watch them. I watched them secretly. I would sneak out of my room, go down to my living room, and watch scary stuff. And then something happened along the way over the years, and now, if I watch so much as a trailer for a horror film, I can't sleep for 3 to 5 business days. And so I settle now on a good old-fashioned thriller. There's a lot of thrillers that I love, okay? The Invisible Man with Elizabeth Moss is absolutely my favorite thriller ever right now. It's a nail biter. It's a nail biter from the opening shot. Comment below your favorite thriller that doesn't have demons and stuff and won't like cause me to lose sleep at night. But anyway, because I am constantly hunting for a good thriller, I pretty much watch every single one that comes out on Netflix. And a couple years ago, I had extremely high hopes for the movie we were talking about today, entitled The Weekend Away. But unfortunately, it did not live up to my expectations. And instead of being scared for 3 to 5 business days after, I was just very sad. I cried myself to sleep over the time I lost watching it. I'll never get it back. And that's why I want to talk about it with you guys today. And what better way to express to you how stupid this movie is than by doing an honest trailer, which is an idea I stole from the YouTube channel Honest Trailers. Ready? Here we go. This summer, or no, it came out 2 years ago. This evening, one woman will go on vacation and return with more trauma than souvenirs. Beth just wanted a break from life and motherhood, but what she got was trauma, betrayal, and a cab driver with more side gigs than a single mom on Etsy. In a world where jewelry is ugly and friends are worse, where the police don't care, the cab drivers care too much, and the women are all brain-dead idiots that trust strange men and ignore red flags like their compliments. She must survive men, murder, and a couple of male escorts with veneers. Dive right into the psychological thriller that feels more like a true crime podcast written by toddlers, that is, The Weekend Away. That was pretty good. That was my first time doing an honest trailer, and I feel like I did a good job. Yeah, again, I had high hopes for this thriller. I like Leighton Meester. And like, to be honest, you'll hear me talk about this, I think, at the end of the video, but I didn't hate the first half of the movie, but it just gets really ridiculous. It was kind of like A Simple Favor. Remember A Simple Favor with Blake Lively and Anna Kendrick? You're like, oh, this movie's good. And halfway through, you're like, what happened here? Anyway, this movie is a very movie. It has twists and turns, bad audio overdubbing, side plots that don't come back, and at this point I just don't know what else you would want from cinema. So put on your lace doily napkin dresses and let's talk about The Weekend Away. But first, a word from today's lovely sponsor.
And now a word from our sponsors.
What a time to be alive, you guys. We live in this really cool period of time where we have just subscriptions for everything, and we don't have to go to stores, and we don't have to think, and we don't have to plan, especially when it comes to our meals. For many years, my idea of meal planning was just like standing in front of the fridge and staring at the food I didn't want for a while, and then eventually asking Nick what he wanted to order. I am just too lazy. My brain is too lazy. I really need somebody else to do all the planning for me, which is why I have become obsessed this year with Hungry Root. And this one is a game changer. I feel like this is a very elevated subscription service because it's like if a personal shopper and a nutritionist had a baby and that baby delivers food right to your door. Hungry Root fills your cart with groceries and recipes tailored to what you like, so again, that you don't have to think. They've even learned like what I like each week, which feels slightly creepy, but in a helpful way. Oh my God, I learned about the most incredible hummus I've ever tried in my life through Hungry Root, the Ithaca hummus. You've never had hummus until you've had Ithaca. Thank you, Hungry Root. Everything is super easy. The meals take 10 minutes or less. And meanwhile, there is no like high fructose junk. There's no weird preservatives. They only give you actual good food. So friends, if you want to check out Hungry Root and make your lives a whole lot easier, you can get 40% off your first box plus a free item in every box for life. Oh, that always kills me. So you can either click the link in my description box, scan this QR code, or you can go to hungryroot.com and use the code Jaime, Jaime, at checkout. And again, that will save you 40% off your first box, plus a free item in every order for life. A million thank yous to Hungry Root for sponsoring a portion of today's video, and now back to the show. Hey kids, we're back. And it's time for a weekend away. Okay, so the beginning of this movie is focused on Beth, played by Leighton Meester. She's the main squeeze, main character. She's arriving in Croatia to visit her friend Kate. So she takes a cab to her friend's place, and then when she goes to pay for the cab driver is like, no, it's for free.
I need to pay you.
It's been taken care of.
Oh, well, at least let me tip you then.
Why wouldn't you ask who took care of it? I don't know, but Kate comes down to greet her and they hug and then they walk upstairs and Kate doesn't help Beth with her bags. And they head up to Kate's very fancy place that she's staying right on the waterfront, probably $1,000 a night or something. And right off the bat, we get some information. So Beth, thanks Kate, like, thanks for inviting me or thanks for whatever it is. And Kate's like, oh, no, don't worry about it. It's on Jay.
Thank Jay. It's all on him.
So you see, friends, this crazy nice place that they're staying in Croatia with the Dom Perignon champagne is paid for by someone else. More on that later. So then Beth gives Kate this necklace, which is very significant for two different reasons. One, it comes back later and is important. Two, it's the ugliest necklace I've ever seen. And it looks like a candy necklace, like a blackened candy necklace from like 1992. So then the girls start getting ready for a night on the town in Croatia. And Beth is, she has nothing to wear because she's like the regular girl next door who only has hideous Target dresses that look like napkins, and Kate is the cool one with sparkly dresses from Wet Seal. Not to be confused with Wet Beaver, different store. We also find out here that Beth has a husband and baby at home, and she will spend the whole rest of the movie FaceTiming this guy, her husband, Rob, but he's British, so it's more like Rob. They're FaceTiming like while she's getting ready to put her napkin dress on, and I guess this is as good of a time as any to tell you guys that I really have a hard time when babies cry in movies. I don't like watching babies in movies when they cry, or even if they're just like a little bit sad, because you know why? If they're sad in a movie, it means they were actually sad in real life, because babies can't act, and it hurts me a little bit. And this baby cries a lot in this movie and it hurts me. That's probably why they made Bradley Cooper hold a fake baby in American Sniper.
Yeah, but see, they can't wait and we can.
Anyway, we also find out in this scene that Kate has actually gone through a divorce.
I went on the post-breakup shopping spree to end all shopping sprees.
She was married to Jay, the guy who paid for all this stuff. But I guess during the divorce, he forgot to remove her name from his bank account, so she's just spending thousands of doll hairs on this lavish trip to Croatia on his dime without his consent, and drinking Dom Perignon and ordering oysters.
We'll start with a dozen raw oysters and a bottle of champagne. I keep telling you, it's on Jay.
What's even weirder to me that she's spending her ex's money is the fact that Beth is cool with it. Especially the first time I watched this, when Kate used the word breakup, and so to me they were dating. It wasn't like they were married, and I was like, so this is just blowing her ex-boyfriend's money? And Beth's like, yeah, right on. I would never do that, okay? If my friend called me and was like, do you know what? Do you want to go to Croatia on my ex-boyfriend's dime without his consent and spend literally thousands of dollars? I mean, pounds. I would be like, absolutely not. I'd rather go to the Bahamas. So they get to talking, and Beth reveals that her marriage with Rob is not going so great.
Are you getting any at least?
Kate.
Beth is all shy and coy at first, but then she comes clean.
How long has it been?
Over a year.
Now, kids, if you're wondering what they're talking about kissing, okay? Beth and her husband have gone an entire year, 365 days, without kissing, which is bad. And it makes me wonder how come some people's husbands can go an entire year and some can't even go 1 hour.
I resent that.
Sorry.
Boom. Roasted.
So at first I thought it sounded like Rob was the one who didn't want to kiss Beth for over a year, but it turns out it's Beth who doesn't want to kiss Rob. It's the other way around.
And I just don't feel like it.
And so the point is, perhaps Beth is not really into her husband in it. And then Kate's credit card gets declined.
I'm afraid the card was rejected.
Yeah, well, I don't feel sorry for you, Kate, okay? That's what you get for eating gross raw oysters on your boyfriend's dime. People who eat oysters...
Yes?
Why are you the way that you are? This is totally off subject. But why are you the way that you are?
I don't know.
How could you do that? Whose idea was that? Did you ever think about that? Who was the first person to ever see a liquidy, slimy sea booger inside of a shell and be like, that looks delicious, I want to slurp that? It's upsetting. Anyway, Beth doesn't want to keep partying because her boobies hurt.
My boobs are gonna explode.
A little bit more focus on her boobies in this movie than I would have expected.
She misses your boobs.
But I get it. They're trying to remind us that she's a new mom, even though her baby looked to be 9 months old, but still. That's pretty new. She's tired. She's struggling because she left her family. We get it. But Kate is like, nar. We've got her.
Oh, come on. Let's relive our misspent youth.
So they go to the club with the same cab driver from earlier, who actually has a name. His name is Zane. And wouldn't you know it, Beth can actually speak his language because she was part of the Peace Corps or something. I can't remember. So yeah, she can speak a little Arabic, which does not come back in any way, shape, or form. I thought it was going to, but it doesn't. I guess it's just to make us like her more, So then they go into the club and they start flirting with these cute guys. Well, I don't know if I could call it flirting. She doesn't exactly have the best flirting skills.
You want to see pictures of my baby?
How about no?
And then this all starts to take a little bit of a turn. We don't really get to see how the rest of the night goes. Everything gets kind of blurry and it's a little hectic montage of glimpses of the night. You kind of get the idea that Beth either gets roofied or just way too drunk. It appears that her and Kate get into some sort of verbal argument, and then Beth wakes up not really knowing how she got back to the apartment, and she's super pukey and hungover. So she starts kind of searching around the apartment. She can't find Kate. She sees some sketchy stuff like a Mod Knock wrapper. Nobody likes a used Mod Knock. There's a broken glass with some blood. There's evidence that, there were people here and something happened, but she can't remember anything. So she FaceTimes her husband for the 54th time, and she's like, I can't find Kate. And he's basically just like, who cares? Go live it up. Enjoy it.
Get out. Enjoy yourself.
But she is obviously worried, as I would be too. So she goes and finds this creepy dude, Sebastian, who I guess is the owner of the apartment building.
You haven't seen her, have you?
No.
How does he own this lavish waterfront apartment place in Croatia when he's 22 years old?
Oh, this is,
Sebastian, the owner.
Your guess is as good as mine. So Sebastian has not seen Kate, but he does drop a very scary bomb upon Beth.
You're not allowed to have parties, and I have to charge you for the 2 extra guests that stayed over.
Now look, as goofy as this movie ends, I don't really hate the beginning. And I think Leighton Meester was very good at kind of showing how horrified you would be to hear this. I would be devastated. I would be devastated. And it gets even more horrifying when she goes to the police and they don't take her seriously at all because she's drinking and she's a tourist and she's a woman.
Can I file a missing persons report?
No, you can't. Because you need to wait 24 hours.
See, and this is the most frustrating thing. It's part of the reason I don't do a lot of thrillers or scary flicks on this channel because they're just so infuriating. Did you ever see Scary Movie where Regina Hall's watching a scary movie in the theater and she's like, don't go in there! Don't go in there! That is me watching a thriller because everything always goes wrong and nobody believes the protagonist and everyone's stupid. Anyway, so because nobody will even remotely take her seriously, even though her entire human friend has gone missing, she has no one to turn to but Zane, the cab driver from the night before. Because when in doubt, when your friend goes missing in a foreign country, you reach out to a strange man.
Hello?
Zane?
Seems legit. So with the help of Zane, the cab driver, they head back to the bar that they were at the night before. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. This movie's not bad in the beginning, but I just keep thinking about how stupid it gets. Anyway, with Zane's help speaking Croatian, they're able to find out that the two dudes they were flirting with the night before were actually male escorts.
Escorts.
Escorts?
And Beth, had no idea, so it turns out Kate took it upon herself to hire them for her friend.
I didn't hire them.
Then your friend must have.
Wow, Kate. Beth gives you a hideous blackened candy necklace and you repay her with unwanted male escorts? Friend of the year. So upon looking at the bar's Instagram page, they happen to have posted a picture of these two male escorts, and that enables Zane to get in touch with them.
I called them and said I wanted to hire them for a private party. They're meeting us here.
Wow, well that was conveniently fast and easy. Either Zane is just a really, really good dude who happens to have an endless amount of time in his day to help this random woman that he met one day prior, or he's hiding a dark secret.
Maybe we should go to the police.
And tell them what?
No, I'll handle it.
Oh, dang it. I thought he was going to say my favorite quote from every murder mystery police thriller ever, which is when someone says we should go to the police, someone else says, and tell them what?
We go to the police, we tell them everything.
Tell them what? Should we tell the cops? Tell them what?
Why is she even suggesting that? She already went to the police and they ignored her. Anyway, we get to find out how Beth and Kate actually met.
I was on a semester abroad. We were roommates.
They were roommates?
And they were roommates.
Oh my God, they were roommates.
They were roommates, and Beth also met her husband, Rob, through Kate in London. In it. Zane then shares that he was also married and he had met his wife when they were like both doctors or something, and he makes some incredibly red flaggy statements.
She's like you, very trusting of people. She believed me when I said I was a nice guy and agreed to go out with me.
That is the opposite of a sentence that you smile at. Run away immediately. But where would you even go, right? Because he knows where you're staying. Again, that's what I hate about thrillers. Every character is mentally ridiculous. So the male escorts show up and they almost say hello, but they only get half the word out.
Hi. Hello.
Because when they see Beth, they run away. But thankfully, cab driver nurse Dr. Zane also happens to be a trained male escort catcher, and he catches them and straight up almost kills one of them and like snaps his wrist back. I don't know, Beth. Zane is looking more and more like a bad guy. Just saying. I think you'd be better off going back to the apartment with Sebastian. So the male escort swears that they didn't hurt Kate. He simply stole her purse and sold it to a pawn shop. And then Beth and Zane are able to go get it from the pawn shop without incident. Wouldn't the pawn shop guy have been like, no, you have to give me my money back? It's like a $10,000 purse. Anyway, they go back to the police for a second time with the new evidence of the purse. And this time, the male cop still does not give her the time of day at all and basically laughs at her, but at least the female cop pays attention now.
Where's the report?
A little bit of good cop, bad cop, sexist version, you know what I mean? My dudes out there watching, I'm really sorry, the writers of this movie, I think we're man-haters, because every single man in this movie is a bad guy. Except one. Guess which one it is. Okay, we have to take a tiny little break, and I'm gonna come back and film the rest of this in 2 days. See you soon.
2 days later.
Hey kids, we're back. And it's not 2 days later, it's like 4 weeks later. Where did we leave off? Oh yes, every male in this movie is either a bad guy or portrayed as a bad guy. Case in point, this scene where Beth is pleading with the male cop to pay attention to her and care about her friend.
They might have drugged me.
Oh, you just said you didn't do drugs.
All right, thanks, Gary. That'll be all. We're good. Why did they do this to his character? Like, if you can't comprehend the difference between somebody drugging you and her doing drugs for funsies, you probably shouldn't be a cop. Lamau.
I figured her friend was out partying.
I love when the lady cop is like, go run these names through the system, and Gary just acts flabbergasted. He's like, what? We're actually investigating this? Why would we investigate a woman missing? She doesn't even go here. What is the cop's actual name? I don't think it's Gary. Hold up. Oh, it's Pavic. More like Pod Dick. Am I right? So friends, with quite literally nowhere else to turn, Beth has no choice but to call Jay, whom we have not met yet, but we do know was the one paying for this whole vacation.
I keep telling you, it's on Jay.
And he too, of course, could not possibly care less that his ex-wife is missing.
It's a classic Kate move.
Going missing?
It always has to be the center of attention.
This plot is just so realistic. A whole entire person goes missing and literally not one single character in her entire life could possibly care less. Every single person is like, who cares?
Enjoy yourself.
Sadly though, I watch like a lot of true crime, and I do know things like this happen. I've watched like a lot of infuriating cases where like a child is being mistreated and CPS gets called multiple times and they don't do anything, or somebody goes missing and like the cops don't take it seriously. But I've never quite seen it to this extent where not only do the cops not care, but nobody in her life cares.
It always has to be the center of attention.
At least 6 people in real life would be concerned. At least 6.
She said you called her about the credit card.
What credit card?
If that wasn't Jay on the phone with Kate the night of the oyster slurping fest, then who was it? And who paid for the meal? It was probably $500. So Beth goes back to the condo and she hears somebody in the other room and she gets excited thinking maybe it's Kate, but it's actually just that creeper Sebastian diddling her delicates.
Checkout is 11. There are other guests arriving.
I'll do it.
Definitely don't need you to pack for me, Sebastian. Are you funny? Are you funny?
There are other guests arriving.
In what world? In what world would the owner of the building put his grubby little hands on your lingerie? So Beth's like, all right, look, I'm gonna get out of your hair. I'm leaving. And he's like, no, you can stay here.
I have a spare room. Downstairs.
And like the highly responsible and intelligent woman of intellect that Beth is, she agrees to stay in the creeper dungeon, even after he let himself into her room and diddled her napkin dress with his grubby little fingers that probably smell like shrimp.
You're down here.
That's exactly what I'm saying, Brenda. Don't go in there, but she does. She goes in there and she falls asleep. But then she wakes up to, I guess, like explore Sebastian's creeper dungeon. And guess who's there creeping?
You helped yourself.
Okay, if this is not a red flag, Beth, I don't know what is. I don't know how you could possibly be any stupider.
Is that your recording studio?
Yes, I'm a composer. Are you hungry?
No, Sebas. I'm not. So anyway, Beth skedaddles herself right on out of there and is about to go get some delicious food with cab driver, nurse, doctor, male escort catcher Zane, when suddenly we get a sneaky little surprise.
Let's get some food before we start shooting. I know a very good Syrian.
Rob?
What? Wait a minute. How did he get to Croatia so fast? Everyone, nay, every man is a suspect. So then Beth gets the call that her friend Kate is dead as a doornail, and they have to go identify her body. Sorry. I'm sorry for laughing. Again, it's really inappropriate. I'm just laughing because it's quite possibly the worst special effects makeup I've ever seen. Like, I was not the greatest makeup artist of all time. In fact, I was quite mediocre. I will admit that, which is why I should definitely not have been hired to do this job, and nor should whoever the person that they hired have been. You can't just paint someone grayish blue. The dude even said that she had been in the water for some time.
She's been in the water for some time.
So she should have been more waterlogged. Obviously. Speaking of water, I need some. Let's take a hydration break. I don't want to take a break right now. No, we're good. Let's keep going. Oh, I am hungry though. Cashews! How long have these been down here? So I guess like a day or two passes. I don't really know how much time passed, but we get this scene where Beth is in the back of Detective Pavic's car in the dead of night for some reason.
Can I see her? I want to say goodbye.
You already saw her in the terrible blue-gray face paint, but okay. So Pavic takes her to see the body again, but where were they going originally? Why were they in the car? Anyway, Beth asks if she can please have a moment alone with Kate's dead body so that she can use her dead blue face to unlock Kate's phone. And I don't know, I can't tell if that was very clever or very weird of the writers, but I do accept it. I accept the scene. I guess, okay, now, and it also makes sense now as to why they didn't do very good special effects makeup, because the facial recognition on the iPhone wouldn't have worked if she had been all waterlogged.
We need to go.
Oh my God. That was close. The detective almost caught you tapping random parts of the screen in the settings. I love movies, man. They're so movie. We get little fun iPhone mishaps. It happens again a few seconds later. Beth dips into the bathroom to look at Kate's phone, and she checks the call log on the iPhone. And in addition to having a missed outgoing call from Beth, make that make sense, she also has several missed calls from somebody named Handyman. I'm sorry. Handyman, if you're British. Some appear to be from an iPhone, some from a mobile, some that lasted 0 seconds, and some that lasted 13 minutes and 30 seconds. A 13-minute missed call, imagine that. Anyway, Beth decides to call this mysterious handyman, and in the first of many 360 McTwisties, she gets the shock of her life.
You've reached Rob. Leave me a message after the tone.
What? Rob?
You've reached Rob.
Rob called Kate 42 times before her death? Oh my God! So then she checks the text messages. By the way, if you forgot who Rob was, Rob is Beth's husband, the guy who's always on FaceTime with her. So she checks the text messages and finds out that Rob and Kate were having an affair. Can you believe that, you guys? They were snogging behind her back and probably attending Coldplay concerts together. Wow. Are you guys shocked by this? Are you shocked that Kate would do this to Beth? The woman who hired male escorts to kiss Beth without her consent and stole a bunch of money from her ex-husband is not a good person after all. So Beth calls Jay again and she's like, dude, why didn't you tell me that our spouses were sleeping together? I mean, kissing? And Jay's like, oh, it's an hour. I was busy that day. Right?
Wow. Wow.
Look how funny Beth looks in these mirrors. So then, you guys, Kate gets arrested. What? Why does my script say that? Beth gets arrested.
Beth Jenner, we are arresting on suspicion of the murder of Kate Thompson.
And we find out during her arrest that Zane, in addition to being a nurse, doctor, cab driver, male escort catcher, is also a gang member and a sex trafficker or something. He's like in an Albanian gang, yada, yada, yada.
He's a member of an Albanian gang involved in human trafficking.
Okay, so Zane is officially not a good dude and we can stop trusting him now, right? Not that it matters because Beth has already been arrested, right? Oh, no, oops, never mind. They let her go for some reason.
It is only because they don't have enough evidence yet.
Why even arrest her without evidence? I'm so confused. So anyway, she then gets immediately released after being arrested and goes back to her hotel room where someone is waiting.
Excuse me, I farted.
Could Zane possibly do anything else to make himself look more guilty and creepy? Hey, it's me several days later. And the answer to that question is no. Anyway, he ends up telling Beth that he is in fact not in a gang and that the police just made it up.
I saved the life of a boy who'd been hit with shrapnel in the leg.
Oh, okay, so in addition to being a nurse, doctor, cab driver, male escort catcher, sex trafficker, gang member, he's also a hero. Good work, Zane. I enjoyed seeing you in that goofy funhouse mirror. You know, friends, funny thing about mirrors is that sometimes they look sketchy. Have you ever felt that your mirror at home looked sketchy enough to where you felt the need to check it for a hidden camera?
Oh my God.
Okay. This story is outrageous at this point. So turns out, guys, that Sebastian from earlier, you know, the hotel owner, is a full-blown peeping Tom AF. What are the odds? All the criminals in this movie are so they're like very criminally criminals. So she proceeds to break into his recording studio, which turns out to just be like a big surveillance hub with a bunch of TV screens, and it turns out that he has hidden cameras in all of his hotel rooms. I hate when stuff like this happens, you know, like you think you're going on this amazing lavish trip to Croatia and your hotel owner turns out to be this creepy pervert hacker spy who'd be like, I'm in. It's the same scenario every time. So she pulls up the archive footage from the night that Kate went missing because she has no memory of it. And to her relief, she sees that Kate and the male escorts actually put her to bed safe and sound. And then Kate just kind of like partied with the escorts all night. I love that line. Hot tub on the balcony. Next time I have people over to watch a movie, I'm gonna be like, woo, couch in the living room. Anyway, so Sebastian's gross peeping Tom footage proves the escort guys were telling the truth. They did not assault anybody. They didn't kill anybody. They just stole Kate's purse. They run away. She gets into a cab like trying to chase them, but then she returns back to the hotel in a mystery black SUV. But meanwhile, creepy Sebastian comes back. So she confronts him, and then naturally he, you know, freaks out. He gets his phone out and he starts deleting any video evidence that could exonerate Beth, because that's how movies go. And then Beth like accidentally kills him or something. Ooh, owie. So then she escapes, and thankfully Zane just happened to be waiting outside the hotel? Question mark? What was he doing there? Did she call him? Did I miss that part? So then they have to go track down the driver of the cab that they saw Kate get into in Sebastian's creepy surveillance footage. You guys following? And this cab driver drops another bomb, another 360 McTwisty.
Where did you take her?
Policijsku postaju.
Where?
The police station.
Oh my God! So the night that Kate disappeared, her last known whereabouts were being dropped off at the police station with Pavik. And then this black SUV dropped her off. Well, suddenly, as coincidence would have it, the police show up to the cab place, and Beth immediately recognizes that black SUV.
Come on!
Oh my God! Wait a minute.
Something ain't right!
Why is this like a high-speed chase / arrest? They already had her in their custody like 2 days ago, and then they let her go. Did they get new evidence? Again, I'm confused. So anyway, then they start running from the cops into these, I don't know, catacombs. What do you call them? Aqueducts. And that is when Beth finally realizes the horrible truth.
Oh my God, it was him. It was him. It was Pavich.
That's right, guys. That douchey, incompetent police detective is the one who killed Kate, even though we literally saw him drop her off in the surveillance footage.
Wait, where are you going?
Don't worry about me.
No, you'll get in trouble.
Who smiles in this situation? You're being chased down by the police because you're wanted for murder and sex trafficking, and you're gonna flash us a naughty grin? Holy Logan, what gives? I love the script. I love when Beth's like, no, you'll get in trouble.
No, you'll get in trouble.
Okay, we are way past trouble at this point. You dingbat. What are you, 2 years old? You're 2 years old. Hey, I'm 2 years old. So this chase scene is so ridiculous. Zane like tells her to run so that he can distract the cops, but instead she stands there peeking while he's talking to them. And immediately gets spotted by Pavik. So then she proceeds to run from him up the stairs, which, you know, is always a solid choice when someone is pursuing you. Go to a rooftop where you have no escape. Where's Brenda when I need her? So she runs past these two peeps necking. Why were they there? I don't know. And she gets to the roof of the building, and this building happens to have a big giant hole in the middle of it, and that's where she confronts the detective.
You killed her. You hit on her and she rejected you.
She was a slut!
That's what men call women who won't sleep with them.
Shut your mouth!
No!
Fight, stop!
What's that, detective? Can you say that again?
Fight, stop!
Kind of seems like your lips weren't matching the words you were saying.
Fight, stop!
I love movies. Anyway, then Pavik dies. Are you kidding me? Are you funny? What is this movie? He trips on a rock and falls into a hole. I love the other detective, like the lady detective's facial expression when he falls. She's like, oh my God. So the next day, the female detective is super apologetic and she's like, I'm sorry I doubted you. You were right.
We found security footage, a camera on the boardwalk.
So he killed her.
Oh, weird. Where was that footage this entire time that Beth was being accused of murdering her friend with no evidence? Where was it this whole time you were trying to pin the murder on the wrong person? Wouldn't that be the literal first thing you looked at after finding her body right there? Well, friends, you might be thinking to yourself, man, that movie sucked. I'm sure glad it's over. But you would be wrong. Not about the sucking part. You're right about that. But you're wrong about the part where you thought it was over. Because there's still like 30 more. We have like another 360 McTwisty. Okay? Get ready. How many is that now? I think that's 3. 3 plot twists. 3 sticks.
3 sticks.
So Beth is back at home with baby Aster finally, and is like dating Zane now, I guess. Who'd have saw that coming? And she goes to drop the baby off at Rob's house, which is the baby's dad, her ex-husband, the one who was sleeping with her best friend, in case you forgot. And they are now like divorced, I guess, or at least in the process of a divorce. And she remembers that he has something of hers.
I think you might have my spare car key.
Yes, probably in my jacket.
So she goes and she reaches into his jacket pocket, and you'll never believe what she finds.
I got it online. I can send it back.
Oh my God! Rob's the actual killer. But hold up. I have a qualm. Me and my crocheted bird here have a qualm. Wouldn't she have recognized her own husband in the surveillance footage when the detectives first showed it to her? Wasn't it completely clear who it was and that it wasn't Pavic? Like, I would know the back of Nick's head anywhere. I mean, to an extent. Now that his hair's long, you know, most of the time he looks like Nick, but sometimes he kind of looks like, from the back, that aunt that you could tell anything to with broader shoulders. But still,
I resent that.
I pretty much know that I would know it was him any day, because it's not just that you're looking at the back of your husband's head. You're looking at their way they carry themselves. You know what I mean? Their mannerisms, their vibe. So she goes into his bathroom and looks hilarious in the mirror again, by the way. And then she calls that lady detective from Croatia, keeps her on the line, and then confronts Rob about the hideous truth. And the hideous necklace.
You killed Kate.
And he, of course, denies it in the beginning. He's like, no, you crazy, no. And she's like, oh yeah, well, look at this piece of Kate's hideous burnt candy necklace that I bought her. What now? So he's like, all right, fine. And he recounts the whole story about how he flew in that Friday night because he wanted to talk to her. He saw her outside of the hotel/apartment thing.
Kate. Jesus. What the hell are you doing here?
And that they went for a walk and they got into an argument, and so he hit her. And then after he hit her, she just kind of like rolled into the water. I love that she landed like super hard on those rocks and was unconscious, but then still rolled away. Seems legit.
No, you are not calling the police.
I already have.
Beth? I got it all. The police are on their way.
Oh my God, you guys. Well, isn't that just so movie? She already called the police and they're already on their way. So she kicks him in the dick just like Zane taught her. She collects her baby that I can't look at because she's really crying in real life. And as you know, that hurts me. And the movie ends with her walking across the field. So, are we just not gonna talk about the full-blown sex offender peeping Tom apartment owner? The whole part of the Sebastian plot never came back. Sorry, gosh, I try so hard to get through these without laughing. I feel like it's stronger comedically for me to maintain composure, but it's so funny. Why did they never bring back the Sebastian thing? I think between Sebastian and the detective falling into a hole, this might be the most movie I've ever seen. That's not true at all, but you get it. Let's look up some reviews, shall we? Here's a fun one. It's called Started Out Okay, but a Dior bag, especially that Dior bag, does not cost 10,000 euro. Do a little research, filmmakers. Quickly got stupid after that. By God, woman, stop talking, was what I kept shouting. Zayn is the only good part of the movie. That's so funny that she kept shouting, because me and Brenda also kept shouting. Oh man, yeah, I do agree with that review though. Like, it starts off okay, and you're like, this is not the worst thing ever. Leighton Meester's a good actor. All the actors were fine. It wasn't like bad acting, and even the script is like not bad unless you're looking at it with a critical eye, like I do, or like we do, I should say. Definitely didn't hate it in the beginning. I don't totally hate the movie now, but I just knew that this review would be hilarious because of the parts that are so ridiculous. Well, friends, that's all for me today. I have to go roll off a pile of rocks into some water. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you thought about this movie in the comment section down below and what movie we should review next. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Oops, sorry, little bird. My Sam Sparks glasses belong on my face. Hello, Sam Sparks. I'm America. Oh my God, I didn't know my dog was behind me this whole time. I thought there was a creature like a velociraptor in my room because I watched Jurassic Park last night.
I resent that.
Sorry, I meant from back there. Hey, what's up? Like, I wanted to almost look like I didn't know you were coming.
Okay. I resent that.
Okay, sorry, one more time, but you don't have to come all the way to the mic. Just peek your head in.
Okay. Maybe like here and go. I resent that.
Yeah.
Okay. I resent that. Are we smiling? Is that cool?
Yeah, but don't say anything when you're done.
Okay. I resent that.
Perfect. Marry him or marry me. I'm the one that loves you, baby. Can't you see? I ain't got no future or family tree. I never be. I never got my heart to be sad if you. It's been in my head all day. Oh my God. Growl, growl, growl. Please growl. I don't like the feeling before it growls. But Kate, you know, the party animal, is like, nar, nar. We must go out. We must go. To the club. To the club. We must go to the club. To, how do they say that? We've got to go out. We've got to get out. I can't say out like a Brit. Things like this happens. Things like these happen. Things like this do happen. Why is that sentence so weird to me right now?
Are you getting any at least? Kate.
How come in movies there's always like girls that are best friends, like really, really close friends, but they act shy when it comes to talking about their love lives? It's so inaccurate because in real life, us girls share graphic details with each other. The most graphic details imaginable. And I know things about my friends' husbands that I wish I didn't. You know what I mean?